हेलो 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 माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम। भाई कैसे हैं आप लोग? तो भाई आज अपन स्टार्ट करते हैं पजल्स के साथ में। तो लेट्स स्टार्ट दी पजल्स फॉर टुडे। सॉल्विंग पजल्स स्टार्टेड। सो इट्स ब्लैक टू मूव एंड वी हैव टू फाइंड आउट चेकमेटिंग आइडियाज। इफ आई जस्ट टेक दिस, चेक, किंग टेक्स इट, rook check again, or maybe just queen here. Not possible. This is really a checkmate. I'm thinking that actually, because I cannot find out a checkmate idea. But what I can see is queen check, queen check, queen sits here. Or if I just take this, pawn takes, queen takes. Okay, rook check, another rook check. But that will just let his king go in, and I cannot move my queen also. I think first thing is just go with the check, and then not allowing his knight to come out is the solution. But his knight is not coming out, so I can plan some other thing. Maybe just queen goes here. Okay, that was a brilliant move, because if rook takes, that's a mate in one. And if he does not take, if he can just move in, why not? The rook can just go in and it's safe. Let's analyze this. What if rook goes in? Okay, queen. Okay, so another tactic is I can just take his queen up, take that pawn after that, and if rook takes, there is this rook check, only one option, and to bring rook in between, and that's the mate. Okay, so let's back to our puzzle. This was a brilliant tactic. Hello, hello, DXRX. Welcome to the stream. Moving on to next puzzle. So we do have queen and rook. We have one extra pawn. That's a check with queen. King goes here. I do have another check. And then play my rook here. Okay, another check is wrong. Just go here. Okay. That was mate in one. Force mate in one. But why not he just go for like if I just give him check and place my rook here, why he just can't go check and check from here? Maybe there is some safe option that I need to analyze. Okay, so let's next move on to next puzzle. Okay, it's black to move and finish the line in front of you, cross it with checkmate. So it's a pawn take with check, king goes in. If king goes in, it's mate in one. If king goes out, that's a knight check again. Knight check is incorrect. This check, obviously queen will take. This check and bring my another piece also in game. That's a mate. This block is covered, this block is covered, this block is covered, this block is covered. And this all three are covered by queen. Great. So its bishop just goes back. Okay. So if I just take this, knight takes pawn with double check and I can take his queen. What's the way then? Double check. Okay, that's a threat of mate also. That's deflecting. That was deflecting. I thought just I can take his queen back, but no. Not it was not just a queen. It was a mate. Hello, hello, Aryan. Your elo. I am currently on 22. I think 2287. Yeah. Let's move on to rapid. So I started another rapid now. So started with Wengit opening 2287. Yesterday we were on 2335, but back on 2287. We were on 2275 actually, but come on. Let's. What's your elo, buddy? 1800. Great, great, great. Minus 5. Oh, no worries. I don't think you play chess a lot. Then, if you did, your rating will also get improved. So, knight takes knight, pawn takes his force, and then bishop takes, then pawn takes. But I think not now. Let's just uh, proceed with activate. My highest is 1000. Great, great, buddy. Bishop goes back. If I attack his knight, he will place his knight here. So first, let's just block the way for his knight, which is g4. G4 for this knight, this knight. And now I can just go with f4. What's next I can do? Attack his knight, pawn takes it back. Okay, pawn takes, but knight will take it back. So pawn push is wrong. Bro, answer me. I prefer play bullet rather than rapid or long game. That's why I make lot of blunders. Yeah, in bullet you cannot improve. Bro, answer me. What was your question, bro? If I instead of offering him knight exchange, if I place my knight here, If he goes for that pawn, I can continue with push. Knight goes here, and I can continue with push again. So yes, let's place knight here, offering him knight exchange. If he takes, we have pawn. We have it back. We'll have it back with bishop. We are fine with that. But if he goes for that pawn, then I think I can just push this pawn first, attacking knight. If knight sits here, that's another push. And we have knight and rook support on that square. That's push. Yeah. How to improve? So I think you need to understand the puzzle, understand the pattern of your pieces, how your pieces work, and the another thing you need to understand is like you need to work on is puzzles and openings. If your openings are good, you can go with the tactics and puzzles. Just solve more and more puzzles. If your opening is bad, first work on that opening, and that you will get to know by just reviewing your games. That what is the where are you just making mistakes. I know London system. Then I think your opening is good. You just need to work on uh opening tactics. That's all you need to work on. So that's a check. But first, if I just play my bishop here, okay, that's a check. King needs to go in. That's a check. King needs to go in. Or let's just first play bishop here, attacking rook. Rook goes here. There is a knight check. King needs to go in. Bishop takes it. No, but knight is here. So let's first. What should I do then? Play my rook here. Queen here is mistake. If I just uh, play my queen here and attack his knight, play my queen here. Threat is to attack knight. Yep. First, I'll play my queen here. Threat is to move my bishop so I can attack knight. If he tries to bring his bishop here, knight takes that bishop and pawn takes it. There is rook take because this pawn is safe. Knight and queen are attacking it, but knight and rook are guarding it. And in next move, I can just play my bishop here, attack on rook, and I can just take his knight. He does have this check, but queen takes it back. Everyone says this is bad opening. Not a bad opening, but you just need to be good with that. That's it. And what actually happens now when you play some opening, your opponent every time tries to deflect your opening. Like if you play Wengi and my opening converts to Scandinavian defense close, my opening converts to Wengi opening. That's how. But what I'm planning and what it converts makes sense, makes lots of difference. So you just need to be precise on that. That what you are playing and what are your thoughts on that. So now that's just a check first. And then bishop goes here. Bishop goes here. He just took it. Okay. I'm fine with that. No problem. I can play my bishop here to attack knight. Yeah, bishop here looks good. Attacking this knight. And plan is to just take this knight. But I think he'll play bishop here and I need to play my bishop back. Or maybe I can just go for pawn push. I think pawn push looks good. But if he play bishop here, can I not just take his knight? He cannot take my knight. I queen takes it back. Sure, bro, we can play, but not after I finish this. You need to wait. I play with subscriber at the end of the stream. So at the end of the stream, I'll play with you guys. Now I can just take this knight because plan is to just take this pawn with check or rook takes it. Okay. So he first went with that pawn. So knight takes it. But I think pawn takes it, attack on bishop. Bishop will go here, and I think I can just play my bishop here, right? No, first take is knight, attacking on bishop. If queen takes it back, and I can just take his bishop. And in this position, I am just attacking his queen. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. Because if I just attack his queen, the move which he can play is, if I'm just attacking his queen, he can just take my queen, and knight takes queen is not possible. So I think now it's time to bring rook in game. But bishop cannot take knight, bishop will take it. If he takes this pawn, uh, then I just take this is wrong. I just need to play queen here. Okay, I lost a piece. So two pieces for a rook. I must have gone with the pawn push. Okay, that was a correct move. Rook takes this. Rook takes this pawn. Bishop takes queen. Rook takes queen. Bishop will go for rook. No, that's a mistake. So I just need to move my queen away. And I lost a piece, complete piece down. But I'm rook up in exchange. What I can do now is try to double up rooks. If rook moves, I can go for that pawn. Why he pushed this pawn? What's his plan? Okay, let's just double up rooks. Bishop here. Oh, queen on a6. Queen on a6 will play bishop here. I can sit here, but he'll go for this pawn push. So where I should go? Maybe queen here. Yeah, queen here. Plan is, if he plays bishop here, I can just push this pawn. Pawn takes. Attack on both the bishops at the same time. This bishop and rook attacking this bishop. So bishop goes here. That's a mistake. So first thing is first attacking his bishop. My plan failed here. Okay. Winning king. I do not have any plan right now. Okay, that's a check. And he can take rook. Move my king, so he cannot go for check. He'll go for this pawn push now. Ah, played well till the mid game, but made one mistake in the mid game, which led me to loss. Actually, bishop winning king, I should have moved my king was the way, and that's where I should have got some support back. At least my one piece was guarded after that, and it was winning. Anyways, we'll win this one. I've seen someone to play this different. Knight here, pawn takes it. Knight can take that pawn. I think I can just go for pawn push. Pawn takes, queen takes to go for that knight. And I can just bring another knight, but there is this check. But I don't know what's happening with the check. But let's first castle, and then I'll go knight here. Now knight here. He can't take my knight because I can just take his queen. And if he tries to move his queen, knight takes knight, and bishop takes or queen takes is possible. Also, what I do have is bishop here. Bishop takes. I do have this check, and bishop here is also a plan. Bishop here takes his knight. He's in trouble. Now the another plan is bishop attacking rook, and knight can go back. Take bishop takes. I do have a pawn at least. Knight takes, bishop takes, bishop takes. Yeah, this is possible. Knight takes, bishop takes, bishop takes. I am pawn up. And still plan is same. And that's a bishop take, bishop take. Plan is same. Queen cannot be moved. I can just take his knight. And if he tries to bring his queen here, that's a bishop check, which will guard this pawn. And I can take his knight after that. Come on, this is winning. This is a clear win. Okay, so I can just continue with my old plan. If he does not take his bishop, then knight here attacking both the rooks. He's gone. He's gone. This position is not winning. This position is a complete nightmare. So I can take this knight. I can attack on this knight. And knight goes here. Knight takes this rook. Then knight going for this piece. Instead of going for this knight, c6 knight. Plan is I can just take this. Okay, so I can take this knight first and then take his rook. And if he does not takes this, I can just defend it. Takes this rook. Come on, what's left? How he will play. Rook here is also a plan. Let's go. Moving on to another game. Back to 2287. Come on. Playing Alkine's defense this time. Going for long castle. Knight goes forward. Okay, I should stop that. I should stop that push first. Knight goes forward. And then I'll go with this push. If pawn push, I'll push this. And if pawn takes queen here first, and then knight takes is a plan. Pawn push. Pawn takes queen here. Queen to e4. Rook attack. Rook threat on queen. Queen needs to go here. And bishop takes. Okay. Queen here. And if we just push pawn, I can place my bishop, activate my bishop because pawn cannot take knight, but he can play bishop here. After that, I can just take his knight, but he'll take with pawn. So no, instead I think I should play knight here. Activate my knight. Let's not just fall in that trap. Now I can just take this and go for this pawn. Knight goes here. Knight goes here. Rook rook goes here. Bishop takes knight. Bishop takes bishop. And queen takes pawn. Defending that knight can be a plan. I think I should just support this bishop. That's actually good for me. Knight goes here and I can just take this bishop, attacking rook. And I can just take this bishop. If bishop here also, I can just take his bishop. Can I not just take this knight first? Take this knight. If pawn takes, knight takes bishop. Okay, let's destroy him. If he takes queen, I can go for that, and then knight takes. It's possible. So nothing is wrong. Just a proper calculation is required, and that's it. If he goes for knight, I can take his queen. No, he can just go for knight. Okay, so now queen goes here is mistake because he can just go for check. What I just need to do is move queen on g4 is the only square. Let him take bishop. Cannot defend that. That was a great move. A knight here, I think maybe was a blunder. Or maybe I should have taken bishop first was the right move. Okay, now let's just continue with the pawn push, pawn push, pawn push. Pawn f5 and then e4. Maybe I can first place my bishop here and just push this. But bishop here, he'll push this pawn. Even if I push this pawn after that, okay, let's see. If I directly place my bishop here, he'll just push this pawn. So first I think b6 first, but he'll just go for this push. Bishop takes it is the bishop takes is possible. So yeah, b6 now. b6. Going for his bishop. His bishop is closed. I'll get my bishop back. Bishop takes, pawn takes. And if we just go for this pawn push, bishop takes, and there is no checkmate. Check, queen king goes here. Queen check, okay. Oh, bishop take is away. After that, there is no queen check. King goes here. What if he tries to bring his queen here? Queen here, bishop here, queen check, king goes here, pawn push, pawn push, bishop will take first. Yeah, I knew it. First thing I need to do is play my bishop here. Place my bishop here, and then he'll do pawn push. I need to take it back. No. So if bishop here, he'll just go for this pawn push, then bishop here. So bishop here looks good. He'll just go for this pawn push, bishop here, attacking rook, attacking rook. He can just go for this pawn push. I'll push But wait, if we just go for this pawn push, what is the way to escape? If we just give this check, that's a mate. So king goes here is the way. King goes here, queen check. I can take this. Queen check from here. So it's the way to defend this is just push my rook forward and bishop will sit here now. And I'll go for pawn push. Check. King goes. King has escape square now. So I think that's it. I can just take his rook now. If he takes that pawn, if he push pawn, yeah, that's the way. Take that, take it. Queen check. That's still a mate. So he will have two queens on board. Okay, I need to give up that and let him make two queens. That's a clear cut lose. I should resign myself. Let's review this. I think I made two mistakes here. One blunder, one blunder. That was bishop take was a blunder. What was best in this case? Knight takes bishop first was the correct continuation to this. Knight takes bishop, bishop takes queen, knight takes queen was the way. And if pawn takes, that's a check. Come on, yeah. Okay, chalo. Did one continuation mistake and I lost. Only one continuation mistake. And after that piece lost, I was not able to handle it. Bishop winning knight. This pawn pushes the next move. I can just take his knight. I know what his plan is. He'll just go for this check. Then this check is not possible. So just take this knight. Queen takes it. I can take that pawn. And now there is this pawn push. If pawn takes, knight takes it. If pawn push, knight still go forward. Be a man and learn other openings than London. Okay, that's what the Xbot says. Bro, play with me, Magnus Carlsen. Now activating my bishop because my bishop does not have any another square to go forward. So activating bishop on g file. Okay, let him take my knight. Pawn takes it. Queen takes, and I can go for this pawn. And if he pawn push, I can just take that pawn. No, cannot take that pawn if he just go for pawn push because after pawn push, if I takes, okay, I just gave him rook. Great. Just give him check, so at least his castle will get break. And playing queen here. But he can just bring his rook, yeah. What I'm doing. I'm not playing seriously. Ah, finally. I just need to defend my knight now. And if pawn takes, and I do have this check, and I can take his rook. There is no queen check, but there is this rook check. What to do of this check now? Exchange, and it's a resign. Come on, yaar. Why I'm playing so fast? Let's be patient and play. I think queen takes pawn was the right move. That's it. King takes pawn was the right move. Sorry, not queen takes. Castle. Centralizing knight. If he tries to activate his knight here, that's a knight goes here. I think I should just block his knight. If knight goes here, if knight goes here, I can just attack, try to attack his knight. No, he's smart. Okay, activation is the key. Just move my queen back, keep that pin. So knight here is not knight activation is not possible, and I'll still keep my queen here. Come on, I'm not going for exchange. Queen here, bishop here, bishop here. Bishop here attacking rook. I can just go for check, then rook here. No, that will be a mistake. So rook here, rook here, defending that knight. Double piece defending knight. Let's see how it goes. I think I'm experimenting today. Then bishop goes here. Okay, rook here, bishop goes here, attacking another rook. Rook will sit here, giving him check with knight. So bishop takes or rook take is force. Queen takes rook. Rook takes queen, and rook takes rook with check. And I can take his bishop. So two rooks for a queen. Okay, let's see. Let's try how it goes. If he just move his queen, and that's it. Bishop goes here. I should have gone for check right now. No, no, not right now because I will lose my lose. I'll just get rook and bishop against rook. So this is good. This is good. It's good that he realized that. Now offering him bishop exchange, bishop takes. Also, I can just move my queen away from this. Now first let's offer him bishop exchange. Bishop takes, pawn takes. Still the same plan. Pawn takes. Again, if rook here, knight check. Rook takes it. I can take his rook. So he's opening back rank. I should also open my back rank. Offering him queen exchange. Queen takes, queen takes. Reason behind it is the same plan actually. So I think I can now enter his territory. Rook here is not possible. Knight will take it. And I can just double up my rooks on this file only. Knight takes pawn. Okay. Now knight just can take it. So double up my rooks. Rook here. Knight goes here. Knight can go here. Okay. Knight goes here. If I try to double, he can just fork. Knight goes here. First, I need to maybe attack his knight. Or just I'll go for pawn push. If knight goes here, I can just attack his knight. And after that, I'll double it up. Okay. So what he's planning now, that he can just push this pawn and go for mate. Okay. Also, the knight goes back is the plan. So I think I'll go for pawn push. So knight should not go back because queen does not have any escape square from here. Now, again, the same thing. So what I need to do right now is place my rook here. If he takes knight back, place my rook here. If he plays knight back, I can just take it. And if here this rook takes, he can just take with this pawn. But I need to push this pawn first. But if we go for this pawn, I can place my rook on e7. Push this pawn because he can just bring his rook here, attack my queen. And now there is this queen goes back. Or sorry, knight goes back. Plan is to just take this pawn. Knight goes here, but he can just place his rook here. So knight goes back is the only way. And another rook here. And I does not have any escape square. Okay. I do have actually. But he can just check and take my knight. Let's take the open file. Pawn push. I'll go with this take because I do have check. Rook takes check and check from here, and I can take this rook. So just take this pawn. Sorry, cannot go for this. Unnecessary. Pawn push and push. As the only move. That's another resign. Come on, yeah, we are declining now. What's wrong? To miss. Okay, let's see what I missed actually. Hello, Marshall Pass. Welcome to the stream. How are you? Good evening. You missed me. Yeah, I missed you, bro. I missed you yesterday also. Where were you? Best here was to give up that, okay, knight because we are attacking on queen. Queen goes here, exchange, and rook sits here. I'm fine normally. Great, great. Nice to hear. Now, since you are here, we are going to win every game from now. In less than a minute, I slept. Okay. Yesterday, I was seeing you. You were streaming, and I was putting the phone near me on my bed. I slept with your stream without saying hi. So no, no problem, buddy. At least you watched. Thanks for that. What kind of opening is this? Let's see. What kind of opening was this? Is he really 22, 54? Bishop takes pawn, or just he's trying something new, like me. You can see in the bar, it's written somewhere. It's Wengi opening. It's showing Wengi opening, but it's with white, right? Okay, bishop check, pawn, bishop check, queen moves here. There is this bishop check. Only option for him is to go here, but there is no mate. Okay, bishop check, queen goes here. Bishop check. s- Bishop check, king moves to d7. Light square bishop check, king moves to either c7 or d8. 6. If he moves to c7, queen check, queen cannot come in between, and he can go here after that. What's the point of that? Then I can just take his bishop, then queen takes it, and bishop takes bishop. I can't see mate. What if I just go for this check? Q to f7. Q to f7 right now. Okay, bishop check, Q to f7. But his plan is, I think, to go here, and after here, I cannot see anything good. Like after that, I just need to exchange both the bishops. Hello, hello, Sai. Welcome to the stream. Okay, bishop to a3, Q to a7. Right after that, yes, that's a good idea. Right after that, there is only one move for him, and now queen to a7. Now queen needs to block or bishop needs to block. If bishop blocks, there is this bishop check, and if he goes here, there is this bishop check, and queen goes here, bishop takes this, bishop takes bishop, but okay, great, he resigned. But I think there was a way, like he can just get his piece back. If queen goes back, bishop takes, queen takes, bishop, queen takes. Sorry, not queen takes. A bishop takes, then rook here instead of taking. So I cannot do anything after that, and that's just a castle which is saving. Q takes e7. Q takes e7. Yeah. So I just castle was possible here, and after rook takes, my queen was also getting trapped. Not actually, but after this pawn push, he can just take bishop. After a queen back, he can just take bishop. So I think he missed that move. He must have not resigned. Bishop takes e7, Q takes e7. At least he should have tried. See, king goes back. King goes back. Just go for his bishop. Go for his bishop. Rook here is very powerful. And if I just take with queen, queen takes, bishop takes. He can just go with this bishop and castle. And whatever he does, like maybe rook attacks, then bishop goes back is the way. So it's the similar position. Q takes e7, yeah. So it's almost the similar position. It is saying that I missed one move. What I missed, let's see. It's a similar position, but I do have castle. He does not. I made a one miss, which was bishop check was mistake. Instead of just giving bishop check, I would have gone for that pawn. That was the correct move. Bishop check was a miss. What was best here? Just take that pawn. Queen here, we take his queen and take his bishop. Yeah, it's almost equal position, but it is still 2.7. That means plus 2.71. That means white can win this easily because knight activation is not possible. Bishop is blocked. Yeah, that's the correct way. Bishop is blocked. Knight activation is not possible. Uh, and we are activating our knight so fast. Rook comes in game. So that's how. Okay, let's move on to another game. Back to 2274. Come on, we need to get back on 23 and we have to target Everything looks so passive for black on that position. Yeah. Should I go with something else? Like just take it. Just take it. Bishop takes and play my bishop here. Pawn push is not possible. If bishop takes, pawn takes, bishop here. No, let's just keep it simple. Bishop to g5. Yeah, that's the right move. And if bishop in between, knight here. If he takes my bishop, I can go with check. And after check, he needs to move his king. And knight takes bishop. Knight takes bishop. And I can knight takes this bishop. Yeah. So bishop goes forward. But wait, he can just queen goes here, check, and I need to place my knight back. More accuracy, I think. Bishop takes e7 and then n to b5. Okay. Yeah, you're right. But I think now he can just give check and I need to play my. Let's see. That's not still bad. I have calculated. And if he does not takes bishop, if he plans something else like knight here, I can play my knight here with check. Bishop cannot take knight. Bishop will take queen. You can just c3 to b4. Okay, so see what my plan is. So let's first check. King needs to go in, take this bishop, and take this bishop. That's it. We are piece. We have our piece, but the thing is, he does not have castle now. I can just push this pawn. Pawn takes, pawn takes. Okay, our knight is under attack. So knight goes back first. Knight defending. He can go for pawns. I can go for pawns. He's just going to take this with queen with check. And so if I place my queen here, so if queen takes, and I can knight can go for that pawn, and I'm also planning a long castle. Yeah, queen takes, knight takes. I can just get that pawn, or maybe I can just go for long castle right now. Let's just do a long castle. Let's safeguard our queen. Q to E2, I think. I need to take my knight out. If rook here, I can just go for that pawn. If you push this, I'll still take that pawn. If rook here, knight goes back to b5 is a plan. No, knight takes b7. Knight takes b7. And if rook, I was calculating all the possibilities basically. And knight goes back to c5. And knight goes back to b3. Or should I play bishop here first? Bishop here. Knight will go here. Rook will go here. And then bishop, just take my bishop back. Plan is to fork him. Knight takes b7 just helps the rook to develop. Okay. I think he can just bring up double rooks. Now I cannot go for fork also. Maybe I can just fork him. If knight takes bishop, that's a wrong move. I lost a piece. Knight takes knight, or knight takes rook, and king here, and I lost a piece. I think bishop back to d3 was wrong move. I lost a piece, yeah, complete piece. Knight takes b7, just help the rook. Okay, I don't want to exchange. I'm already piece down. Defending this pawn. Let him take this. I can go for check. And I'll just do this pawn push, attacking rook. Rook needs to go back. And then I can move my king. Yeah, I do have passers, but I don't know when they are going to become a piece. And that's a mate threat also. So it just king goes back. Let him give check, then I'll place my king back. I can first go for offer exchange, but there is this poke. So let's play rook here. King to b2. So I can just attack his knight and go for this check. Okay, I cannot actually. Let me then defend this pawn. Knight check is not possible. Rook will take it. And after rook goes black, rook goes back. If he push, I can take. And if knight here, I'll still give him check and take that pawn. Plan is to just recapture this pawn. This pawn is very powerful. This is lost. Yeah, I also think that. But let's at least try, give a try. Who knows? Rook here stopping that pawn. Pawn push. If he takes this, I can take this. Okay, that's great move. Now it's a resign. Both pawns are promoting. I think let's review this. Mid blunder one. I made one blunder. What was that blunder? I think bishop back on d3 was a blunder. Calculation was not bad. Knight back. Okay, knight here was a blunder. Whoa. Why would take with queen, king? Why not with queen? Because knight here. Are you serious? Okay, what the move I made was a blunder, and the right move was to just take it. Told you, yeah, you're right. I thought that I can just break his castle and just knight goes in, and after that knight can try something there, but still knight can go in, na. But after that queen check, after that queen check, okay, queen check is not queen check c3. Yes, shit, yeah, I missed that. Okay, let's move on to another game. Let's not regret that much. हेलो मिस्टर यश, वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम। भाई आपका चैनल अब तक मोनेटाइज नहीं हुआ। नहीं यार, वी नीड सम मोर सब्सक्राइबर्स टू मोनेटाइज आवर चैनल। Now we will go for the spawn push. This is popular opening. I'll go for the spawn push. Bring my light square bishop out. Bishop out. English opening. Anglo-Indian. Anglo-Grenfell defense. Because the knight to b5 was defeated by, yeah, right, right. Bishop was protecting that b5 knight. This bishop. I think he just made a mistake. Now knight goes back. Knight takes. Knight take is forced because queen is under attack. And bishop takes bishop. And queen sits here to attack that knight. He can just go for castle. I can go for attack on king side. Okay, he can just push this pawn. Let's first stop that. Knight here. That's just a pawn push. Okay, he's still going for that. What about knight here? If he does this push, knight here, he cannot take that. Yes, knight here. If you go for this push, knight here. I don't want to make you jealous. He's around 2350. Okay. No, I am not jealous. Do I look like jealous to you? Okay, if he takes my queen, I can take his queen. And if he just takes that pawn, knight is here to check and take his rook. Not at all. Take his queen. Rook attacks, take his bishop. Is the only option. क्या बच्चों वाली चाल भाई। अभी बताते हैं बच्चा कौन है। अब बताओ बच्चा कौन है। We got his rook. Let's go. He blundered. No, knight comes in between. Rook defending pawn. I'll not go for castle. I'll bring my rook on d8. Now maybe I can. If I castles, I can just take that pawn. Yes. I thought he'll double up rooks. Then my plan was to bring rook on d8. I didn't castle yet. Lucky knight. Offering him exchange. Or just a pawn push and pawn push. But he will just, he cannot attack this. Rook sits here. Yeah, just a pawn push and push h4, h3. Now, if rook doubles, can I place king or can I bring my rook? I think let's keep the rook free and let's keep king. But what he can do is push pawn. If I takes it, pawn takes it. Let's keep rook free. I do have square back on e8 if he tries to give me check. Pawn push takes, pawn takes. Okay, he just went for that pawn push because if I takes, that will be a mistake. So now maybe rook here. Pawn takes, pawn push, pawn takes, offering him rook exchange. He can just give check, king sits back. So rook here, rook on f8. King move karo. Rook on f8. Pawn takes, pawn takes. Pawn push, pawn takes, pawn takes. Rook sits here, offering him exchange. And if he just go for check, okay. If I place my rook here, if he just go for check, king goes back to d8. And after that, if he takes, I can take. There is, he cannot go for that pawn attack because this might be sitting. And if he brings another rook, I can place my rook here for exchange. After exchange, that's winning. And he needs to force exchange because that's a mate. So yes, let's do it. Looks good. Go for check. King goes back on d8. King goes back on d8 or king goes back on d8. He can also plan for mate threat, yeah. But I can just take this rook. If he goes for mate threat, king goes here. Rook takes rook, pawn takes, and king goes here. Maybe not seeing. Maybe not seeing it. Pawn push, check. King goes back. Rook here for mate threat. King goes back on e8. Rook takes rook, pawn takes. And if he goes for check, he just took. He just took it. Let's go. This is completely winning. Offering him rook exchange. Nahi. If I just offer him rook exchange and after he exchanged, I take it. Do I need to rotate my king fully? Yes, but his king also will take some time, na? Let's calculate completely. Rook here, rook takes, king takes, king here, king back here, back on d7, king on e2, king on c8. Yeah, that's forced, but I'm just calculating if endgame is winning or not because I cannot just directly go forward. And if I just make this pawn push, that will be a mistake uh, because he can just go for this pawn push. So I'm just calculating that he can easily bring his king in game. He should have done if he should have done this pawn push, then I was fine to offer him force rook exchange, but he have not done this pawn push. So let's calculate again. Rook to e7, rook takes, king to f1, king to d7, king to e2, king to c8, king to d3, king to b7, and king goes forward to d4, and king goes still on a6 only. And he can now go for pawn push. I think I should play a waiting move. Rook to f7 for now. Rook to e7 is c6. No, he's not going to play that, I'm sure. If he does c6, that's lost, definitely. If he does c7, he's going to lose. If I just make a pawn push. Now only if I try to move this side, or I think king goes back, rook on d7 and rook on d7. If rook takes that pawn, I can just take this pawn, defending that pawn. And if he just does a pawn push, then rook on e7 is winning. Yes, because you could do king to d6 and win the endgame. Still, it is winning. It's a clear win now. King goes forward, rook needs to move, and I can take that pawn. If rook goes forward, rook takes it. This is winning. No, this is winning. I can just take this pawn, and I do have one, two, three, four pawn. He have three pawn. After exchange, I just need to win with opposition rule. Rook going for that pawn. Rook here. I'll place rook here. I think king to d7 and then king to. Okay, rook going here. I can just push this rook here. Take that pawn. And that pawn is also vulnerable. If I do not exchange rook, king goes forward. If I do not exchange rook, I can just. I cannot take. This pawn is not doing anything. Let's just not take it. And king is well defending it. And now let's place rook here. Rook check. I can go for that pawn. If he just does a pawn push, I can take it. Pawn push, I will not take it. Let him take it because we do have one more pawn which is sitting back in the game. Or maybe rook here is the better option. Okay, he does a pawn push and rook on a2. If he takes that pawn, pawn takes it. And if he plays rook back, I can just take it. Maybe that's a winning because I can just do this pawn push. Yes, let's go. Now this is a clear win. If he plays rook back, I can just take his rook. King takes it. I'll push g3. Pawn takes, that's a queen and two. Okay, he just took it. I can take this back first. First thing is first. Yeah, it's a win. GG. Thank you, bro. No one can stop me to take h2. If rook stops it, that's a queen on board. Come on, resign. We have big target for today. Come on, resign, buddy. R takes d2 immediately. Yes. Rook takes d2 and g3. Rook takes h2 then. King goes here. Rook here and that's h2 and h1. Let him take that pawn. 23 hitting. Target for today is, I think it was actually more, but I think for today 23 is fine. H2 H1 queen. Let's see it first. Yeah, 2300. If he gives check, I can take that pawn. And that's a pawn push. Rook sits on G1. And after that, I'll make queen. Maybe rook on F2. Then G2. Rook takes H2. There is queen. And can take that pawn. Yeah, rook on F2. Also attacking that pawn. Pawn push, queen on board. Rook takes, rook takes. Just rook to G1. Yeah, that was also a winning. Both is winning. I will have queen, but he will have just pawn. If I just take this, king takes, let's just push G2 and G1. Queen, rook takes, queen takes. He needs to move, and queen takes pawn. Come on, man. Let's not get stalemated. If king here, queen takes it, is not a stalemate. D7. He's re-challenged. He's challenging again. Nobody. I do not have time to spend for revenge. We just need to reach 2300. Castles. He's playing King Indian Defense. Nimzowitz. Bishop winning Queen. He'll do this pawn push. King, Bishop sits back, doubling up, and he'll place King here. Okay, so I can continue with my plan. Place Queen on D2. Threat is to place Bishop here and exchange bishops. Does playing a chess make a lot make you psychotic? No, it doesn't. But like you don't need to play whole day. Don't get fully involved in it. If you're playing also, try to play classic as more as. So classic makes your mind sharp. You can think of more possible variation in classic instead playing bullet and blitz. What it means psychotical, psychotically. Psychosis. I want to understand this term. Psychotic or psychotically. Psychotic is a disorder that that is a mental illness and have a sign of psychotics. It's a cluster of symptoms. It's not an illness. It's just a group of serious mental illness that all have signs of psychosis. Okay, it's actually not a mental illness. It's a disorder in where the patient face delusion, hallucination, and disorganized thinking or speech disorder behavior. That's what the psychotic means is. Now the bishop pinning queen. Okay, I do have a trick. Just push this pawn takes, attack his knight, or just pin his queen. He'll go for pawn push. Just push this. Okay, he's just bishop here. He'll push this pawn. Nothing. There is nothing. Let's bring rook here first. I'll push this pawn takes, so rook can pin his queen. And also in medical context, a behavior or symptom driven by a loss of reality, delusion, or hallucination. Yeah, that is what AI tells. Symptoms, insaneness, crazily, or maniacally. Now that's a pawn push, attacking knight. Knight goes here, knight goes here, knight goes here, knight takes it. Pawn takes bishop here. Pawn push, bishop take, pawn takes. Or instead of just taking, we'll just try to pin. We'll try to activate our knight here and then push his knight back. That's the plan. Yeah, that's not the bad plan. Hello, hello guys. Welcome to the stream. If you have not subscribed already, please subscribe this channel. And if you like the game, please hit that like button. You will get the notification whenever I'm live. Okay, come on, make a move. Pawn takes, attack on knight and queen. So pawn take is not possible. Now he's just attacking my bishop. And his knight is not on the good square. Let's just place our bishop back. Plan is I can just attack his knight. And his knight does not have any good square to go. Bishop to b5. Bishop to b5. Bishop to b5. Pawn push. Pawn takes. Bishop takes. Knight takes. So that's why I just defended it back. Plan is to just attack on knight. Now knight have the square. What about this pawn push? Pawn push, pawn takes, knight takes. Maybe still I can just push this pawn, but he can just push this, right? Now bishop goes here. He does not have anything to bring in between. Yeah, now bishop goes here. Now bishop to b5 and q takes d6. Looks good. e5. e5 looks good. Okay. Why not e5? His plan was c4. But e5 was much better because he needs to take it force, and after knight take, he can just plan that. What do you think of e5 right now? Or can I not just go this pawn push and pawn push? His knight still does not have any good square to go. So a3, a3 or e5. You attack the knight with e5. Okay, knight pawn push e5, pawn takes, knight takes. I can just take this, and there is fork. Yes, pawn push. Now pawn takes, knight takes. Knight can go for this pawn. Knight takes it back. Bishop takes. Pawn push. Will he go for this pawn? I think knight will go for this pawn. I can have this pawn now. After taking his knight, I can have this pawn, or just take this pawn right now because we can push it forward. And if bishop takes knight, pawn takes it, and I can just push this, and I can have queen. Then rook takes, bishop takes is possible. E5 better than b3. E takes d6. Yeah, e takes d6 was correct. Now let's see what he will do. I think most probably what he will do is knight takes knight. I'll take with pawn, and then bishop takes f3 knight, and then pawn takes. But after that, still his knight cannot go anywhere, right? A5 knight, and I can continue with pawn push and push. That is my plan. And still he cannot bring. What if he does f6? If he just does f6 right now, then knight takes, and I need to go for bishop exchange after that. Okay, h6. Because bishop to g5 is too good sniper of d8 square. He's just attacking my bishop right now. I can just attack his queen, and queen goes here. I'll make queen, and rook takes, and I'll defend my bishop back. Bishop backs fully. Now he can just take knight for free. Okay. No, yeah. Need to move my queen. He will defend knight. I'll bring my rook in game. And then there is the pawn push. He will do this pawn push. You should wait, not promotion immediately. If I take this, bishop will take it. So I need to take this, right? If I takes this, bishop takes pawn. And if I takes this, he'll take my rook. So take his bishop is the right move. Need to handle the pressure when you can get in the good position. But I don't think that bishop was blocking. So that's why. Does his knight have any square to go? Yeah, knight does have. Okay, so let's just place queen back. Now knight goes back. I'll offer him exchange, or I can just do this pawn push. Yeah. Now we got a piece back. Let's go. I should have placed my queen on right square because now he can again place his rook here. That's a mistake. I can just do this pawn push, or maybe not. Pawn push, he'll play rook here. So I think pawn push, rook here, offering him rook exchange so I can clear it out. I don't know what was the solution there. I'm also curious about the engine recommendation. Okay, I think rook here. After rook exchange, I do have a plan. And if knight goes here, I need to defend this pawn by playing my bishop here or maybe bishop here. Bishop on e2, bishop on g2. Maybe bishop on g2. If knight here, bishop on g2. Plan is after pawn push, I can just attack his rook. Bishop, knight. Okay, let's take it. And bishop attacking queen. Although that's not a plan. What if I just go a pawn push? Pawn push right now, but he can still go for that check and take my bishop. I think maybe rook here. If knight takes pawn, bishop takes it, and if queen takes, I can continue with my plan. That's check. Bishop comes in between, and queen sits here, and he will not. He will be left with one check, and queen goes here. So yeah, rook here, but he can go for this check. Yeah, I missed that. Come on, yeah, that's a resign. You can't calculate. Let's review it. Let's see what was the we made six mistakes in this game. Okay, six mistakes. Let's calculate what kind of mistakes we made. I made one blunder also, that was the queen making queen. Okay, what was best here? Best here was knight takes knight. Okay, instead of making queen. Whoa, what was best here was to knight takes knight, explain bishop takes, and attacking his queen again, and queen moves, and placing my bishop back because I can just attack his bishop if queen takes that pawn. I was so in hurry to win that. I didn't even calculate it. वैसे भी losing थी. हेलो हेलो गुलशन भाई, वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम. कैसे स्टेबल रहें 2300 पे? 2300 बनना भी तो चाहिए. How we can remain stable on 2300? We have to first make 2300. No problem, next one better. Yep. Okay, this is little critical. If I just push this pawn, pawn takes, queen takes. He'll be pawn up, but I can make up the position. What if we just do a pawn push? Then there is c6. Pawn push to defend that, and then bishop here and long castle. If he just went knight, then I can still place my bishop here. Threat is to attack, take his knight, and I can take that pawn. Bishop. Bishop placement looks good. There is this check, but knight can activate. So I think simply castles, bishop takes, pawn takes, and knight here with the same plan. He does not have any light square to attack this side, but he can play knight forward now, and bishop goes back to save. No, he cannot play knight forward, definitely. Rook, check, knight takes, check, takes. I'll get my pawn back. And if he does not, if he castles, takes his knight, and then takes that pawn. If king goes forward, is the way. King to e2, yeah, that's the way. Take this, king, king will take rook, takes that pawn. Okay, now there is this check. Or should I first take this? If I take this, if I give him check, king e2, rook cannot activate. And knight is attacking bishop also, so take is force. And then there is this check. If king to e2, I can go rook d do d2 with check and take that pawn. Bishop takes f3. Blocking his bishop so I can double up my rook. I can double up my rooks. Now bishop here to take his knight, but knight can activate here. Okay, pawn push and push to and his bishop is gone. Yeah, h4, but he'll just double push now. Bishop, pawn takes, bishop takes, rook takes, take his knight, go for check and go for those pawns. Bishop goes back is the way. बड़े मुश्किल से बड़े मशक्कल अजीज वाला this. What you are typing, bro? I can't understand. Sorry for that. Bishop to c5 is the same thing. Bishop attacking rook, pinning his bishop. The knight activates forward. Double up rook and knight activates forward. This is interesting language. I think that's Urdu. If I just go for this check, king sits here. If I just go for this check, I can have that pawn. Check, king sits here. No, go for this check. King sits here, I can just take that pawn. Okay. So this check, only one option, and mate is not possible because bishop is guarding that square. So what I can do to take his bishop? Maybe activate my knight or just take that pawn. Check, king goes here. Let's give him check. Rook in between was the also option. If I take this, bishop takes it. Go for that pawn. Take the pawn. Doubling up rooks. Will threat for mate. What king is trying to do? Okay, let's just take that pawn now. Because rook cannot activate forward. That is blocked by bishop on f2. I can just go for check, but king goes here. If a knight can sit here, I can win this. Okay, king defending that pawn. Rook goes here now. If rook goes here, that's a mistake. That's a check. I can take his rook. So he has placed his king on very bad square. Oh, 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 no, no. He can place his bishop in between. Still, let's go for check because rook takes that pawn. There is this rook check, and I can take his bishop. And now the knight activates. Knight can also activate forward. Knight to d7 to go for that pawn. I don't think he will take this pawn. If rook takes, there is check. If rook takes, I'll go for this pawn. If pawn push, yeah, that is possible. There is this f5, f6 check, and if your king attacks knight back, there is h5, knight to d7. Rook cannot take pawn. That's a fork. Pawn push. Yeah. So rook here, I think rook here is still can't play. I can still take that pawn with check, and king goes here. G5 maybe. He himself have placed in. He himself has placed in so big trouble. He placed himself in so big trouble. So that's a check. Bishop takes. Take his rook. Or what about knight? No. Instead of that, I can double attack his bishop. Uh, if rook takes that pawn, rook takes this pawn. I'm just neutralizing position. So I can just place knight back on f8. That's the move. That's the correct move. If rook takes pawn, I can just go for this g6 check. And after king moves, I can take that bishop. Maybe instead of g6, e6 is better. Also, there is fork g6. He just gave up his bishop. I can place my rook on h3 for that bishop. Now king here, that's a check. Okay, he just got that pawn for free. Bishop here. Bishop here, knight to h4. Threat is mate. Threat is mate in one. And if rook here, I can just give him check, take his rook. Okay, I can just take that pawn. Still, there is fork check. Maybe that's not a mate. If he does this pawn push, I'll do this pawn push. Because now there is a mate, not a mate. Okay, because he has square. And that's another check. Or simply, I think rook back, stopping that pawn. And if rook to f8, knight takes bishop with check, and rook sits here to take that pawn. I thought that was a mate, but king have square. King goes to c6 is mate. Stop this pawn. Whoa. What check? What kind of checkmate he has given? Whoa. Brilliant, brilliant. How is this guy 2000? He is mid at best. Yeah, you are right. I think I'm going back on 22 now. After that, I'll go back to 21 and then go back to 2000. That's how I will bring my points down. Playing bullet. I'm literally playing bullet. Not even thinking. Okay, let's keep stable on this position only. Okay, takes free pawn. Knight goes back. Now how he will get his pawn back? I'll bring my bishop out and I'll go for simply castle. भाई कभी तो शाउट आउट दो. भाई तुमने नाम इतना खतरनाक रखा है. ही वॉन्ट. कैसे शाउट आउट दे दूं बताओ. एटलीस्ट संदेश रखना था. Let's neutralize because we are pawn up. What a pawn up we are. I'm seriously losing every game. इतना क्या सोचना था, सीधा शाउट आउट देते और ये गेम नहीं जाता हाथ से. I think I'm getting reversed back to 22. Shout out to Landesh. Welcome to the stream, bro. Bishop, pawn push. Ah, free pawn again. This time don't lose. Chalo, let's see. Do I have any plan? Take that pawn. Okay, let's activate knight. Yep. Let's activate knight. Bishop takes pawn. I'll block him. So rook, he can take it for force. No, cannot block him. Can I try to trap his queen? Knight here. Pawn push queen can go back here. And now activates rook. Rook can sit on e7. Bishop here. Pawn push. Attack his queen. Queen cannot go here. Queen only have one square. And then I'll place knight back. Queen have one more. Okay, so that's it. Place my knight back. Then go for his queen. Place my bishop here. Bishop on f3. Bishop on f3. So if he tries to push also, I can at least have defense back because my king is on light square. That's why I just rotated it this way. Attack his queen. Only square left is this. And after a pawn push, his queen is gone. Not just the one square. Queen defending pawn, queen defending the square, light square. No, QC8 भी है. क्यू C8 भी है, क्यू D7 भी था, क्वीन F2, बिशप G3। Yes, bishop pair. Bishop pairs usually is powerful. That pawn is vulnerable. Pawn on A2 is very vulnerable, and he's going for that. Defending check and defending this pawn. नहीं जीते. Let's not go for the free pawns now. Unnecessary pawns. Free pawns are unnecessary pawns. Come on. Why I am losing all the games? Maybe I'm just exhausted. Come on. भाई रेगुलर लॉस है, स्ट्रीम बंद कर दो। नहीं भाई, अभी जीतेंगे यार। स्ट्रीम बंद करके क्या मतलब। यहाँ पजल करो। ठीक है, चलो ये लास्ट गेम, इसके बाद पजल करते हैं। अभी वो कैलकुलेट कर रहा है कि बिशप टेक करेगा, एंड क्वीन टेक्स बिशप, देन ही विल टेक दिस pawn with check, king goes d1, uh yeah, he will take rook. That's what he's thinking. Let's take it. Instead of going here, I think I should just move in. What about check? King takes check. Okay, let's move king in. King into f2. Queen goes completely back. Let's go for that rook. यार किंग टू डी करना था, नाइट भी तो कैप्चर करना था, लेकिन वही हिज प्लान वाज टू जस्ट मूव माय लाइट स्क्वायर बिशप which is on c square, and after that he can just take that. इसलिए I just didn't did that. Take his knight. and just activate my bishop, and I can take his knight. No, f3 push करो. f3. f3. I do not have any problem in exchange. Come on, queen takes, bishop takes. Arey yaar, I did a mistake. I should have just taken this pawn with check and take his queen. Missed the tactic. It was instant resign just after that. क्या ब्रो, दिमाग में ही नहीं आती बारी. इतना जल्दी घाई करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. इतनी घाई घाई में खेल रहा हूँ. पता नहीं क्या है. Pawn takes, pawn takes, and just push this. If pawn push, okay, still will go for bishop on d, queen on d2. Hello, hello, Vraj Patel. Welcome to the stream. Takes, queen takes, bishop takes. काफी दिन बाद मिले. I'm fine, thank you. How are you? न्यूट्रलाइज के लिए भी क्वीन देनी पड़ी. नहीं, आई थिंक दिस इज द लास्ट गेम फॉर टुडे एंड आफ्टर दिस आई विल प्ले पजल्स. वी आर जस्ट रिवर्सिंग बैक. आज वही तो गेम नहीं चल रहा है ना. मैं काफी गेम खेले आज, लेकिन टुडे आई लॉस्ट ऑल ऑफ देम. कल जीतेंगे, आज शायद मैं एग्जॉस्ट हो गया हूँ. ओके भाई, गुलशन भाई, टेक केयर. ठीक है, चलो देखते हैं. Tactics loading, bishop takes pawn and knight fork. Oh, 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 I missed that. I think I'm not in my mind today. Can't even see that simple tactic. Can't even see that tactic. Queen check, bishop in between. One of those days. It was about yesterday only. Day before yesterday. शायद इसलिए आ रहे हो क्योंकि माइंड एजिटेटेड है, जल्दी जल्दी खेल रहे हो क्योंकि माइंड अनस्टेबल है. आई ऑल्सो थिंक द सेम. विन स्ट्रिक फिर लॉस स्ट्रिक। 7 की विन स्ट्रिक करी थी, 7 की। वी मेड अ विन स्ट्रिक ऑफ 7, और आज देखो। कुछ स्पाइसी खा लो या कुछ एंजाइटी हो तो ऐसा होता है कि खेलते ही चेस हो बट सबकॉन्शियसली कुछ फ्यूचर टाइम की चिंता है। इतना नहीं सोचा। आई थिंक आई गॉट अ ड्रॉ। चेक। चेक। चलो भाई, एटलीस्ट ड्रॉ तो मिला। लेट्स गो। कल कहीं पे जाना है मजबूरी में, या कुछ ओकेशन हो अनवांटेड। शायद। आर यू साइकेट्रिस्ट? ये गेम ड्रॉ नहीं हो सकता था। ये गेम उसका विनिंग था। आई टुक अ ड्रॉ। एक खेल लो। चलो, लास्ट। एंड विल प्ले दिस स्लोली, एंड विल थिंक इन एवरी मूव। ठीक है। इसमें आप पक्का जीतोगे। चलो भाई, विराज भाई के लिए विल प्ले दिस फाइनल गेम। ये हारे तो मैं आपकी स्ट्रीम में आना बंद कर दूंगा। ये बहुत अच्छी चीज कही। अब तो जीतना ही पड़ेगा, मतलब है ना। Okay, I think bishop here to block his castle for now. Bishop here, so he cannot castle. And now knight here to check and take rook. Uh, okay. Can I not just go for check? But knight can come in between. Knight here. If bishop takes, knight takes, going for that pawn. And if pawn push, I'll first take his bishop and then place my bishop back. I can go for this pawn now. And if he try to defend it, that's a check. I can just castle after that. So at least his castle will get blocked. And if rook tries to attack, that's a check again, and I will go for castle. Or if kings attack, rook sits back on b6. If king goes here, rook sits back on b6. Rook cannot take that pawn, and I can go for long castle now. His king is on the middle of the board. King is in the middle of the board. Sorry, not on the middle of the board. It's just a castle blocking his bishop. I can take his knight, and pawn takes, rook takes. Or maybe I can play knight here. Knight here. He can't still take knight. And there is this pawn push threat. I'll instead go for pawn push. No, first take his knight. Take his knight, he'll take with pawn. Instead of taking, I should move my knight. Yes, that's the better move. Now I can just kick his knight away and go for this check to take that pawn. Pin, yes. Attack is rook. Rook cannot sit here. And okay, what? Let's calculate properly. Attack is rook. Rook cannot attack my both the knights. After that, I'll push pawn. Yeah, first attack is rook. Rook cannot go for any of the knight because both knights are guarding both each other's square. And now I can just push this pawn. So I can just go for rook takes, and rook activates. And then the same plan continues. Then knight here, and go for check. Okay, now it's a pawn push to attack knight. He's planning, if he's planning rook here, that's a bad move because knight can simply be placed on c4, which can guard knight back. अब अच्छा लग रहा है. Now he can place it back because place it here because I cannot place my knight back here. So I just need to do double push. If I just take this rook, maybe I can place my knight here. Take this rook, king takes, bring my another rook with in the game, and take his rook. If knight takes, uh, knight sits here to attack rook. Maybe I can just go for double push instead. Do nothing and just do a double push. What about just attacking his rook? Rook can sit on a4. If rook sits on a4, I think double push this pawn looks good. Double push, yes. Now knight here, knight here, knight takes. Or if rook takes, rook is possible after that, then another rook in game. Knight here, how I can go for a fork? Okay, so he's now planning to place his knight here. If I place my knight here, he'll just go for check. Okay, I can also place my knight here, but what he simply wants, I know. So I can just take rook and push my king forward, check and take that pawn. Okay, if I place my knight here, knight check still comes in because after knight takes, pawn take is possible, and he will have three pawns in line. So how to stop that? I think first I should attack his rook. Rook is going to attack. I should attack his rook with pawn, and and attack his rook with pawn. Rook sits here. Bring my knight in to attack rook. Pawn push rook here. Knight attacking rook again, and rook does not have any another square to go. So yes, at least we got a rook. So if rook takes, knight takes. He must have, he should, why he went for this check? I can simply move my king in. King in, reason behind it, knight here, knight takes with check, and rook cannot take because knight take is still there, and knight check is not possible. If I just go forward, there is another knight check. And what if I just place my king on b7? Is that not a better move? b7? B7 is better move. Weird. Weird, but it is better. Because now I can just get his rook after placing knight to c4. Rook goes back is the only option. If rook takes pawn, knight takes it. And here we go. We have knight to c4. Rook cannot go anywhere. Rook does not have this, does not have this. Can go here. Can go here. But I'll just take this pawn. And maybe there is poke from somewhere. I think let's place rook back again. Kick his knight. Kick his knight is wrong. After I kick his knight, I think push. Push looks much better. Yes, push. And knight goes back. After that, rook can go here. पहले उसके रुक को मारो आप. कैसे? How? Knight goes to d2 now. Now knight is free. Knight goes to d2. This check and take his rook. Knight goes to d2. Fork to take his rook. Also, if you exchange rooks, the only open file will be with you. Yeah, right. Uh-oh. Now I can just kick his knight and go for this check and take his rook. And if rook takes, pawn takes, and knight can sit back. Attack is another knight. Now, attack is another knight. Knight takes. If knight takes, I can take his rook. Rook takes knight. Knight takes knight. I can take his rook. Clean as that. If you just go for this pawn push. If you bring his king forward, then rook goes to d7. And I can have that knight because this knight does not have any square to go back. King goes, no. King goes here. There is a fork. I just follow up with our plan. Na? Rook on d7. can take his knight. Great. Now he can just go for that pawn. Should I just take his knight? The only thing I have is knight. Rook here. Okay, rook defending pawn. We are just a fork away to lose this. So we need to just keep up with the game, and so we cannot get a fork, cannot get fork. Double push. Double push. If he takes this pawn, no, he can just take this pawn. I can do nothing. But if he just go n%, I can just take his knight. I just need to take this pawn now. Plan is now I can just take his knight. Come on, yaar. It's still equal. Let's go. We got knight. Finally. He cannot take that pawn. I can take this. Rook sits here. This is winning. Pawn push takes this. And now rook here. Go for check. Not allowing him to push. Pawn. If king goes forward, check. I can take that pawn. If king goes here, I'll still go for check. Start to move king forward. Check. King goes to attack rook. So first thing is first, I need to make this pawn push so king cannot go to attack rook. And now if we just go to attack rook, there is the king which joins in back. And king in, after that these pawns are not promoting anymore. Uh, so there we have the rook which can defend it back. His plan is rook here. It's still complicated. Not allowing his rook. King to f8. Yes. We have 30 seconds on clock. We have to be little fast. Not just fast, we have to be faster. I can just take this pawn. No, that's a mistake. Push, 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 and queen on board. Oh, I lost a subscriber. अरे यार, that was just a one mistake. Unnecessary, I took that pawn. Just rook sits back. Just rook sits back. And nothing else after that. This was winning. चलो भाई, इतने सरलता से आपने मेरा लास्ट लाइव स्ट्रीम बंद करवा दिया। कोई बात नहीं भाई, मे बी नेक्स्ट टाइम। ऐसा लग रहा है कि मैं हार गया। तुम जीत रहे थे ब्रो, मैंने हरवाया लास्ट में। तुम नहीं हारे। लेट्स डू सम पजल्स। ओके, चेक। किंग गोज हियर। Or can I just go for this? Just go for this. There is this check. That's the way. भाई आप मूव्स को बहुत मस्त तरीके से एक्सप्लेन करते हो। आई हैव ट्राइड सेम एंड नाउ माय रेटिंग इज 904। ग्रेट बडी, ग्रेट। गुड टू हियर दैट। Okay, just take his rook. No? Okay, bishop takes pawn because if rook takes, there is rook takes his mate. If rook goes back, queen takes it. Whoa, these all games are so complicated. Just take this. Okay, just go for bishop check. No. Rook here. Take this pawn and checkmate him. In the end, I lost because of time. The last game was winning, by the way, Raj. Okay, that's queen. Take his knight. Pawn takes. Rook takes. Okay, take his queen. Or just bishop takes this pawn. Take his queen. Take his queen. After that, I can just go for this plan. Yeah, that's the way. Three in a row. Daily solver. 150 points. Let's go. Moving on to next puzzle. So just take this knight. Attack on queen. That rook is not going anywhere. I can just take his queen now. And rook sits back, offering him exchange. Level increased. You completed level 8. Moving on to next puzzle. Streak of 2. Uh, just take his knight. Bishop takes queen. I have this check. And only option with him is queen in between. And take his queen with check. And I can take this bishop also. I'll be piece up after that. So it's black to move, calculate and win my rook. Check, check. King goes back and check and take his rook. Okay, king goes to b3 was also option. Rook check, king goes in. And after that, I think just no. If I attack his rook, queen, and rook both are guarding that pawn. If rook check, no, that's at the check, and I can take his rook. Yeah, streak of four. Come on, it's white to move. Your pawn is heading up back rank, but there is mate. So I think that's just a rook sacrifice and queen on board. Ride with hello, hello, well, Chris today. Well, okay. So streak of five. Come on. Next game. Next puzzle. Sorry. Is this a mate? If I just do a pawn push, king does not have any square. After rook check or queen check. Rook check and take his mate. Streak of six. Calculate and win material. So the way to win material is knight sits here, bishop here. Just take his bishop, and then queen goes here. He's going for my queen. I can go for knight takes knight and take his queen. Streak of seven. Let's go. Okay. So after knight here, that's a mate threat. Takes that pawn with knight. Bishop takes it. I do have this check, but it is doing nothing. So here, I think we should play queen on c6. Wrong. Arey yaar, lost the streak. Then what was the best here? Knight here? I don't know what is the right move. Just push this pawn. Why bishop cannot sit? Okay, because after knight here there is mate. That was the move. So it's white to move. There is a way to end this with checkmate. He literally have three pieces and I still managed to checkmate him. Do you think that it is possible in real game? Will opponent leave the advantage after the check? I can take this pawn, which is mate. You sounds like GM Srinath. I didn't watch him, but thank you for that. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you did, please hit that like button. Today we lost, but definitely tomorrow we are going to win all the games and we'll get our uh, points back, which is 2300, and we'll achieve more than that definitely tomorrow. Nihal's and Arjun's coach. Okay. So thank you guys. Bye bye. Take care. Have a good night.